Today we have the XPPen Artist 13 pen display for digital artists. It is affordable, but does the pen experience make the cut? We'll let you know in just a second.
I ain't getting out of bed today.
Keep waking up from the previous night.
The Artist 13 ships in a nice colorful box. Speaking of which, we'll get to the quick unboxing. First, in this little care package, we have instructions, a microfiber cloth to clean the screen, and a smudge guard glove. You'll find 10 spare nibs along with a nib remover and a 3-in-1 cable for connectivity. We'll talk connectivity in the setup section. An extension cable for power, and finally the X3 Elite pen. And here we go. Here's your nice piece of kit. The display is thin and light. Looks pretty sharp too. We need to pay some bills first. This is a pen display. Resolution comes in at 1920 by 1080, that's 1080p. Battery free thanks to that electromagnetic resonance, which is the gold standard in digital drawing tech in my opinion. The cool kids call that EMR for short. Contrast ratio is 1000:1. The color gamut is 85% NTSC, 130% sRGB, and 88% Adobe RGB. The Artist 13 has 9 programmable keys, some with braille-like tactile feedback to help you memorize where your particular short key of choice might be situated. All 9 are configurable through the driver with just a couple of clicks, and include shortcuts to the driver panel or even enabling precision mode. It's fully laminated, reducing the gap between the tip of the pen and the digitizer, and mitigating parallax, which we will test. Your output options include 2 USB-C ports, and you have physical buttons for increasing and lowering brightness, as well as finally the power button. The sole item on the other side of the tablet is a lanyard hole. The back of the tablet, plastic as well, with 4 plastic feet to raise it up a bit and keep it from slipping around all over the place. The Artist 13 comes in 4 colors, black, green, blue, and pink, which gives you plenty of options to choose the right tablet for you. Remember that 3-in-1 cable? That HDMI is going to plug into your PC or laptop. If you have the available USB 3.0 ports, both of these can also plug into your PC and laptop. However, you can take one of the USB-A connections, connect it to any available phone bricks you might have laying around. This is why you get the extension cable, in case you need extra length on that power connection. When all said and done, it should look just like this, piece of cake. On the tablet itself, pop the 3-in-1 connector into the bottom USB-C port, and you're done. Additionally, a 1 USB-C cable option is available. Cable does not come with the tablet. However, I found a standard iPad USB-C cable fits in there just fine. Be aware, some USB-C cables might have casing that's too big and will not fit into the tablet. Now, the tablet does have a matte screen protector, which some could argue blur the colors a little bit. However, it gives you some tactile feedback, which I prefer over the feeling of drawing on glass. This is an affordable option, so it doesn't include things like a stand or a pen holder. What I'm happy about though is they didn't skimp out on the pen tech, which we're going to talk about right now. The X3 Elite has 8,192 pressure levels. It's battery free thanks to that EMR technology. The report rate is 200 PPS. That's basically how fast the pen talks to the hardware. It should help out with those fast strokes. Tilt is supported at 60 degrees, but that's not really what makes this pen special. It features XPPen Smart Chip technology, which has a number of features never featured in an XPPen device before. Specifically, the retraction distance of the nib is down to 0.6 millimeters. The initial activation force engages at just 3 grams of pressure, which means the accuracy and the responsiveness should be amongst the most accurate in an XPPen we've ever seen. Those are big claims, so we'll test it to make sure. The pen has 2 programmable buttons on the top and no eraser on the back. It's got a stiff nib that won't move around on you, and it's lightweight. It's smaller in size than the usual pen display stylus we've reviewed on the channel, closer to the thickness of an actual pen or pencil. To remove the nib, slight clamp around the nib, and just give it a pull. In the driver, you can adjust the pressure of the pen, as well as set those 2 programmable buttons to any hotkeys you want. In my Parallax tests, those claims turned out to be true. You can see that cursor is right underneath the pen nib and only moves because of the standard EMR lag that every EMR tablet has. If you like this video, please remember to drop a like, drop a comment, hit the sub button, and click that bell so you won't miss anything. Pen test time to see if this pen is all it claims to be. I've got Sketchbook Pro open and I'm starting with a pencil to test that initial activation force. I'm looking for a light gradient to medium to dark and then a taper off. And throughout this 3-line test, it looks pretty good. Next is the pen tool. We're doing long broad strokes from thin to thick. And we're looking for a clean taper on each side. Look how beautiful the lighter end of this stroke is. And the pressure stays throughout the entire length of the line and tapers off nice and cleanly. To do these sort of 3/4 circles, change the equation a bit to see if I see something different. Beginning of the circle is nice and thin the way I want it, and the pressure stays consistent throughout the entire stroke. Let's test that reduced retraction distance even further to see if we can produce any lag. I'm moving this pen as fast as I can, and the cursor is keeping up, so I don't see any perceivable additional lag other than what I would expect from an EMR device. Let's open Photoshop with a dead pixel brush, no stabilization or smoothing or anything like that on it. And we're going to do a ruler test. What we're testing for is line wobble. Admittedly, this isn't my favorite measurement. There is some wobble in these lines. I wouldn't call it a crazy amount of wobble. It does exist. Most drawing apps have some kind of line smoothing or stabilization. It's likely to get rid of that anyway. Let's see how tilt performs. Got Expressi open so you guys can see the icon of the pen. This allows you to see when I'm actually tilting it. This looks great, exactly what you want to see. I get a thinner line when the pen is upright, and when you tilt the pen, you get a much different effect as if you were shading with a pencil. But I want to make sure I can produce the same results in Clip Studio, as well as making sure when I tilt the pen, that cursor does not jump around. I think in both cases, tilt performs perfectly. The pen responds well, and more importantly, it does exactly what I want. Last thing on this driver before I give you my final thoughts. You've got everything from calibration to rotation options here in the driver. You have display settings, brightness, contrast, and color temperature, place to configure application-specific profiles for your different shortcuts and settings. Last but not least, and maybe most important, up at the gear, you have options such as disable tilt, diagnostics, and export and import tool. That will let you back up your settings in case you have to restore, so you don't have to start from scratch. Just import that config file and you're back up and running. Let's see if we can stick the landing on this review. First, I should mention that as part of their 17th anniversary campaign, XPPen is holding a sale starting August 16th. Links are below. Now, I mentioned it doesn't come with a stand. If you want to buy the stand that I'm using, I'll also have a link for that, as well as this fancy XPPen desk pad that I use on a daily basis. So obviously, as soon as you start hearing budget or affordable, you know that compromises had to be made. In the case of this tablet, it's mostly the use of plastic and things like that you would naturally expect. Pen itself and the X3 technology, I think, does perform better than any other XP pen I've used, with the caveat that some of you guys who let these line tests drive you crazy. If there was any bit of a negative, I guess that would be it. I'm on record in almost every review I've ever done saying I don't draw that slow, and I certainly don't draw lines with a ruler, but I understand you guys want to see it, so I added to the review. I should mention, this is the second X3 smart chip enabled device I've actually tested. I'll link that below as well. So in terms of recommendation, it's really hard to recommend against it. I used the tablet for about a week before I actually filmed these tests. And like I said, I had prior experience with the Artist Pro 16. So honestly, I can't find any downsides, especially at this price point. Let me know what you think. Drop some comments below, and if you have any questions, I usually answer just about everyone. I hope you liked this video. If you like knocking about a bit on this channel, you can check out these videos over here, or you can join the Discord and check me out on Twitch. I'll see you guys in the next one.